Okay, imagine this. You finally sit down, ready to tackle that big project. You know the one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a report, maybe something creative, maybe just some serious studying. You clear your desk, open the laptop, take a deep breath, ready to dive in.
Yep, the moment of truth.
And then, ping, notification. Then another, and another. Suddenly your brain isn't this focused machine anymore. It's like a web browser with 50 tabs open.
Oh, I know that feeling. All clamoring for attention.
Exactly. And you find yourself jumping from an email you had to answer to a quick check on social media to that article you saw, and suddenly an hour is gone. Poof.
And the actual work.
Barely touched.
Yeah.
If at all. Does that sound familiar to you out there? Because honestly, if you're alive today, I bet it does.
It's pretty universal, unfortunately.
You see, our minds, they're incredibly powerful, but they actually have this surprisingly limited bandwidth. Research suggests we can only consciously pay attention to about, 110 bits of information per second?
Right? That's the ballpark figure often cited.
And just to put that in perspective, decoding speech, like you listening to us right now, that takes up a huge chunk of that. Somewhere between 40, maybe 60 bits per second.
Mm-hmm. Already using up half your capacity, potentially.
So you add in this constant stream of digital pings, alerts, visual stuff flashing, all the information trying to cram into your head from everywhere.
Yeah, it's no wonder our capacity just gets maxed out instantly.
And it leaves us feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and honestly less productive, even though we feel busy all the time.
The busy trap.
But what if you could cut through all that noise? What if you could actually reclaim your attention, consistently, every single day?
That's a goal, right?
Yeah. What if you could tap into that state of energized, almost effortless focus, where time kind of bends and you get incredibly productive without feeling like frantic or burnt out?
That sounds like the dream state.
Well, that's our mission today. This deep dive, this is your shortcut to understanding the science, yes, but also the practical, actionable stuff behind mastering your concentration, boosting your productivity daily.
Moving from that chaotic multitasking.
To satisfying deep focus flow. Let's do it.
Okay.
So, with that picture of our scattered minds, let's really unpack this modern problem. How did we even get here? And what's the real cost of this constant digital pull?
It's a big question.
Look, let's be real. Technology is indispensable, right?
Yeah.
It connects us, gives us information, helps us work.
Absolutely, we rely on it.
But there's this dark side, especially for focus, deep attention.
Mm-hmm. The constant battle.
And when we say digital distractions, it's not just your phone ringing loudly.
Right.
It's subtle stuff, too.
Right. Anything from an electronic device that pulls you away, even subconsciously.
Like that little pull of a text message you know is there.
Yeah.
Or the lure of the social media feed. Or just knowing an email might be waiting.
That is powerful. It's a constant low-level drain on your cognitive resources. A tug of war.
And the impact. It's actually way bigger than we think. There's tons of research, especially with students.
Yeah, the academic setting research is pretty clear.
Students using tech for non-class stuff, texting during lectures, scrolling TikTok while studying, they consistently score lower.
Lower on notes, lower on tests later. It's a direct hit to learning.
And what's really striking is that this digital distraction, it actually hurts performance more than something like typing notes versus handwriting them.
That's a fascinating finding. It really highlights that it's not just the method, it's the divided attention. What else your brain is trying to do or trying not to do.
And there's an even more concerning link, something we really need to be aware of, the connection between heavy internet use and mental well-being.
Right. The anxiety and depression correlation.
Studies show it pretty clearly. Higher rates of internet use, especially passive stuff like binge watching or constantly checking email and social media.
It's linked to higher levels of depression and anxiety.
And often it starts as this coping mechanism, right?
Yeah.
Seeking social comfort or just distracting yourself from stress or loneliness.
Yeah, a seemingly harmless escape.
But then it backfires. The distraction itself leads to procrastination, avoiding important tasks.
Which creates more anxiety and stress. It's a vicious cycle, a real mental trap.
Totally. And who hasn't fallen for the multitasking myth? We tell ourselves, I'm so efficient, I can juggle 5 things.
The super productive illusion.
But the science is clear. It's not multitasking, it's task switching. Rapidly.
Exactly. Our brains aren't built for parallel processing of complex tasks. They jump.
And each jump costs us. There's a switching cost in terms of mental energy focus.
Time lost, focus lost, increased chance of errors.
So frequently jumping between, say, writing that report and checking your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It leads to way less deep learning, lower quality work.
Even though it feels busy, feels productive.
Right. But you're just fragmenting your attention. It's this invisible drain on your actual capacity for deep work.
That's such a crucial point, and it perfectly sets up, well, the alternative. You've painted this picture of fragmentation, distraction.
Yeah, it's kind of bleak when you spell it out.
It can be, but what's the complete opposite? What's the ideal state we're actually aiming for?
Okay, tell me.
It's that concept known as flow. You've probably heard people call it being in the zone or locked in.
Ah, right. Like an athlete who can't miss or a musician lost in the music.
Precisely. Or a writer where the words just pour out. That's flow. It's not just a feeling, it's a measurable psychological state.
Okay, so define it for us. What is flow, really?
At its heart, flow is a state of full immersion. You've got this intense, energized focus, total involvement, and usually real enjoyment in what you're doing.
Enjoyment, even with hard work.
Often, yes, because you're completely absorbed, everything else just fades away, and your sense of time gets weird.
How so?
Minutes can feel like seconds, or hours can vanish like moments. Time just bends to your engagement. It's this melting together of your actions and your awareness.
Wow.
And critically, it requires a balance between how challenging the task feels and how skilled you feel. And high concentration is absolutely key.
So it's not just zoning out.
Definitely not. It's active, engaged. In fact, it's so powerful, people even use flow-inducing leisure activities, things they're skilled at, and find challenging as a way to cope with stress and anxiety.
Interesting. So where did this idea come from?
It's a great story. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, apologies if I mangle the name slightly.
Close enough.
He started researching it after watching artists, especially painters. He was fascinated by how they'd get completely lost in their work.
Like really lost.
Totally. So immersed, they'd forget to eat, drink, even sleep for hours, just driven by the act of creating itself.
Whoa.
That deep absorption sparked his whole theory of optimal experience, which he called flow. And he realized it wasn't just art, it was this universal human experience of peak engagement.
Okay, so what are the ingredients? If we want to experience this flow state, what needs to be in place?
Right. Csikszentmihalyi and his colleague Isabella Nakamura identified 6 key factors, and these are important because they're what we're trying to actually cultivate.
Lay them on us.
First, intense and focused concentration on the present moment. You're here, not thinking about groceries and emails, just the task right now.
Okay, that first one alone, intense concentration on the present moment, sounds like a huge hurdle for people drowning in notifications.
If you're struggling there, how do you even begin? Is there one thing you can focus on first?
That's a really practical question. Yes. For most people, the first domino to knock over is deliberately, strategically eliminating distraction.
The environment again.
Exactly. If you can create that quiet space, physically and digitally, you remove the biggest external barrier. Once that noise is down, your internal focus has a much better chance to gather itself. It's like clearing the path.
Makes sense. Okay, what's next after intense focus?
Second is a merging of action and awareness. You're not overthinking your actions. They feel almost automatic, but perfectly aligned with what you intend. Like riding a bike, you just do it.
Got it. Less self-monitoring, which leads to the third point. A remarkable loss of self-consciousness. That inner critic, it goes quiet. You're not worried about how you look or performing or what others think. Your ego takes a back seat.
Freedom.
Exactly. Fourth, you feel a strong sense of personal control or agency. You feel like you're in charge, capable of handling whatever the task throws at you.
You're steering the ship.
Fifth, that distortion of temporal experience we mentioned. Time either flies or seems to stand still as you get deeply engaged.
The time warp effect.
And finally, sixth, the activity is intrinsically rewarding. Autotelic is the technical term, meaning you do it for the sheer joy and satisfaction of doing it, not for money or praise or some external reward. The activity is the reward.
Okay, that autotelic personality you mentioned earlier, the person who's naturally curious, persistent, motivated from within. That sounds amazing. Yeah. But what if that's not you? Are you just stuck struggling?
Not at all. That's the beauty of it. While some folks might lean that way naturally, being autotelic isn't fixed. It's really a set of habits and a mindset you can absolutely build.
Okay, how? Where do you start?
It begins with how you frame challenges. Instead of seeing a hard task as scary or a chore, try seeing it as a puzzle, an opportunity to grow. Get curious. Ask why and how more often. Practice persistence in small ways. Commit to tiny steps on a big project.
Break it down.
Right. And crucially, notice and appreciate the feeling of accomplishment during the process, not just waiting for the end result. Celebrate the small wins. That builds the intrinsic reward muscle over time.
So you can train yourself to be more like that.
Absolutely. And a huge part of flow is understanding this challenge skill balance. Flow happens in that sweet spot where the challenge of the task feels just right for your current skill level.
Not too easy, not too hard.
Exactly. If the challenge is too low and your skills are low or you're just not engaged, you get apathy. You just don't care.
Been there.
If your skills are high but the challenge is low, you get boredom. Your mind wanders looking for something more interesting. Often that's when we reach for the phone.
So boredom drives distraction too.
Definitely. And on the flip side, if the challenge is way too high for your current skills, you get anxiety. Overwhelmed, frustrated, stressed.
Also been there.
The key is constant adjustment. Task too easy. Make it harder, add a time limit, try a new approach. Task too hard. Learn new skills or break it down into smaller, manageable steps.
Keep adjusting to stay in the zone.
Precisely. And remember Schaefer's conditions for flow. Knowing what to do, how to do it, getting feedback, knowing where to go. High perceived challenge, high perceived skill. And crucially, freedom from distractions. That one's non-negotiable.
Freedom from distractions. It keeps coming back to that.
Because it's foundational. And the benefits of flow, they're huge. People describe it as the optimal human experience. Higher satisfaction, feeling competent, real personal growth as you stretch your skills.
And it fuels motivation.
Big time. Boosts intrinsic motivation, fosters self-directed learning. It makes the whole process rewarding and incredibly effective.
Okay, so let's connect the dots. This struggle we have with digital distraction,
Yeah.
it's directly messing with our ability to get into this amazing flow state.
Absolutely. Our devices, as useful as they are actively undermining our capacity for deep immersion.
So our mission is clear. Bridge that gap. Move from fragmented attention to consistent, energized focus.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something key earlier, self-regulated learning, SRL. You called it the master key.
I really believe it is. Because to truly control our attention and fight off distractions, we need an internal strategy, a framework. SRL provides that.
So what is self-regulated learning?
It's an active process. Learners aren't just passive sponges. They are metacognitively, motivationally, and behaviorally active participants in their own learning.
Taking ownership.
Complete ownership. It involves planning your approach, setting clear goals, choosing the right strategies, monitoring your progress, and then this is crucial, evaluating and revising based on how it's going.
It's a loop. Plan, monitor, adjust, reflect.
Exactly. A continuous improvement loop for how you learn and work. And the benefits are well proven. SRL leads to more motivation, better performance, deeper thinking.
Because you're focusing on the process, not just the outcome.
Precisely. It helps you become the architect of your own focus and success.
Okay, I love the idea of being an active participant. And I know there's a model that breaks SRL down into phases, right? Pinterest's model. Can you walk us through that, make it really practical?
Absolutely. Pinterest's 4 phases give us a clear roadmap. Phase 1 is forethought, planning, and activation. This is your prep work, setting the stage before you even start.
The pre-game huddle.
Exactly. The challenges here are common culprits. Poor time management, underestimating how long things take, that negative self-talk, I can't do this.
Yeah, the internal critic.
And digital distraction is deadly here because it prevents that calm planning. You're already scattered before you even define the task properly.
So how do we win in this phase? What are the strategies?
First, planning and prioritizing. Get specific. Don't just write do report, break it down. Research section A30 mins, outline section B20 mins. Granularity fights overwhelm.
Makes the mountains seem like smaller hills.
Exactly. Second, environmental structuring. We keep coming back to this. Physically distance yourself from distractions. Phone in another room, clean workspace, create a focus sanctuary.
Make it hard to get distracted.
Third, goal setting. Clear, achievable goals for the session. Write 500 words in 45 minutes without checking emails. Specific targets for your brain.
Measurable.
Fourth, time management. Use time blocks. Pomodoro technique, maybe. Commit to the block. Sets boundaries for your attention.
Train the focus muscle.
Fifth, positive self-talk and self-efficacy. Build belief. Remind yourself you can focus. Challenge those negative thoughts before they derail you.
You got to be your own coach.
And finally, creating schedules and setting boundaries. Clear work times, clear off times for digital stuff. Treat focus time as sacred.
Front load the discipline. Okay, that makes sense. Then we get into the task itself. Phase 2, monitoring.
Right. This is about staying aware while you're working. The real-time check-in.
What are the pitfalls here?
Still underestimating difficulty, maybe? Or worse, not realizing you aren't actually understanding the material? Or just being unaware of the real effort or time needed, which leads to frustration.
And then distraction calls.
Precisely. So, the strategies here. First, metacognitive checks. Pause and ask yourself, do I get this? Reread if needed. Use practice questions in your head. Actively engage. Don't just passively consume.
Check your own understanding.
Second, effort regulation and time management. Continuously ask, am I really putting in the effort? Is my time plan still working? Be ready to adjust.
Stay honest with yourself.
And third, help seeking. This is smart, not weak. If you're stuck, ask. A colleague, a mentor, a resource. Better than spinning your wheels in frustration and giving up.
Prevents the downward spiral.
Oh.
Okay, leads right into phase 3. Control. Sounds like crunch time.
It is. This is the active adjustment phase. Deploying strategies to stay on track when things get tough.
And the challenge is wanting to give up, getting pulled away.
Exactly. Giving up easily, struggling to persist. This is peak temptation time for digital distractions. They offer that easy escape from the struggle.
The path of least resistance. So, how do we resist? What control strategies work?
First, perseverance and self-instruction. Talk yourself through it. Remind yourself of the goal. Break the current problem down even smaller. Okay, this is hard, but I can do this one paragraph. Verbalize it sometimes.
Coach yourself through the tough spot.
Second, effective learning strategies. Don't just push harder, push smarter. Use active recall. Summarize in your own words. Draw diagrams. Turn passive struggle into active problem solving. These maintain engagement.
Keep your brain in the game.
Yeah.
Powerful. Okay, last phase. Phase 4, reaction and reflection. Learning from it all.
So crucial. This is where you analyze what happened so you can improve next time.
And the challenge is blaming the wrong thing.
Exactly. Misattributing failure, blaming external factors when really you spent 30 minutes scrolling Instagram, or just feeling unproductive without digging into the why.
Or just not adjusting for next time, repeating the same pattern.
Right. So the strategies are, first, accurate attribution. Be honest. If distraction was the culprit, name it. No judgment, just clarity. Self-awareness is step 1.
Diagnose the real problem.
Second, adjusting strategies. Based on that honest reflection, modify your approach. Maybe you do need that app blocker. Maybe the phone has to be in another room for complex tasks. Adapt.
Learn and tweak.
And finally, persistence. Building focus is a journey. It's not about perfection. It's about committing to improvement over time. Each reflection makes the next forethought phase stronger.
An upward spiral of getting better at focusing. I like that.
That's the goal, self-mastery.
Okay, so we have the why distraction, the what flow, and the how, SRL. Let's get super practical now. Putting SRL into action daily, starting with our environment.
Setting the stage.
Right. First, auditory control. Remember that 110 bits thing. This is why background noise, especially speech, you can understand someone on the phone, TV, even music with lyrics. It kills focus.
Your brain tries to process it, even subconsciously.
Using up those precious bits. It can cut productivity by 10% or more. So noise-canceling headphones, huge help.
Creates that cognitive shield.
Yeah. And interestingly, music without intelligible speech, instrumental, maybe a language you don't know that can actually help concentration sometimes.
Provides a consistent backdrop without competing for language processing.
Okay, second environmental piece, movement and breaks.
Yeah.
Seriously, ditch the chair sometimes.
We think sitting still equals productivity, but it's often the opposite.
Totally. Sitting forever leads to fatigue, headaches, even back problems like spondylosis. Your brain needs blood flow.
Movement wakes it up.
Taking quick walks, even just around the room, stretching, getting some air.
Yeah.
It's rejuvenating. Increases circulation to the mind and body. Makes your brain more active, engaged.
Stand up, move, stretch. Every hour or so, your body and brain will thank you.
Absolutely.
Host, those environmental points are critical, but the real momentum often starts first thing in the morning. Crafting a productive morning routine really sets the tone.
Primes the pump for focus.
Exactly. Let's start with early waking. There's something powerful about getting up even just 45 minutes before sunrise.
That quiet time before the chaos.
Yes. Think about successful people, contemplative practices. They often use those pre-dawn hours. It's not about dogma. It's about reclaiming a focused window for planning, thinking, personal tasks before the world rushes in. Being proactive, not reactive.
Okay, makes sense. What else?
Integrate physical activity. This isn't just about fitness, it's cognitive boost.
Wake you up.
Forces discipline, wakes you up physically, clears your head, gets blood flowing, releases good brain chemicals, primes your mind. Even simple stuff, squats after breakfast, a brisk walk, some stretching, stretching makes a real difference.
Get the body moving, get the mind moving.
Then consider mindful practices. Stretching, maybe some journaling to clear thoughts, or even reading something inspiring. Quiet, intentional moments to center yourself before the day hits. Creates a calm buffer.
Build resilience early.
Nutrition is massive, too. Your breakfast matters. Avoid simple sugars that spike and crash, kills focus. Avoid heavy stuff like red meat that makes you sluggish.
So what should we eat?
Think complex carbs, lean protein, healthy fats. Eggs are great. Antioxidant-rich foods like berries, nuts. Aim for a decent size, maybe 500, 800 calories to stay full and avoid hunger distractions later.
Fuel for focus. What about coffee?
Ah, coffee. Yes, dark coffee, consumed mindfully, can definitely help. Provides that lift without the jitters for many people.
Okay, good to know.
What else? Here's a perhaps surprising one. Responsibility and companionship, maybe.
Get a dog.
A dog, seriously.
Hear me out. A dog gives you a non-negotiable reason to wake up and get moving. Fresh air, exercise, routine. They force presence and discipline early on, which indirectly build structure and focus habits.
Huh. Never thought of it that way.
And finally, think about hobbies as productivity extenders. Don't just see hobbies as random downtime.
How do they help focus? Integrating them into your routine: gardening, organizing, learning Italian, reading, photography. These offer mental variety, stimulation, clarity. They act as a reset, prevent burnout, keep your brain engaged in different ways, making it sharper for your main work.
Cool. So structure the morning, fuel the body, engage the mind.
That's the essence of it.
Awesome. Now, expert, in this digital world, tech can be the enemy, but it can also be a powerful ally, right? Let's talk about leveraging smart tools.
Using tech for focus, not against it.
Exactly. First up, automation with Zapier and IFTTT. These are like digital assistants.
They handle the repetitive stuff.
Right. Zapier lets you create Zap's workflows, like automatically save email attachments to Dropbox, or upload videos from Dropbox to YouTube, or add new Dropbox uploads to a Google Sheet. Saves so much manual effort.
Frees up cognitive load. Zapier is great for desktop and complex stuff.
And IFTTT, if this, then that is similar, often simpler, great for mobile and smart home stuff.
Like if I like a YouTube song, add it to Spotify. Or if I get near home, turn on the heat.
Or if I'm tagged in a Facebook photo, save it to Dropbox. They handle routine tasks you shouldn't waste brain power on. They help structure your digital environment automatically.
External brains doing the admin.
Then project and task management, like Trello and Asana. These aren't just to-do lists. They're external brains for organizing complexity.
Reducing mental clutter.
Trello is super visual. Boards, lists, cards, great for seeing workflow, like a marketing team's editorial calendar, ideas list, writing list, editing list. Each article is a card you can assign, add deadlines, attach files from Dropbox.
Makes it digestible. Less overwhelming, which fights distraction. And that Dropbox integration previewing files in Trello is seamless.
Asana is more heavy-duty, great for bigger projects and teams. Groups, projects, tasks, subtasks, deadlines, assignments, comments.
Lots of structure.
Yeah, and features like milestones, dependencies, knowing task B can't start till task A is done, and timelines give you that clear overview, prevents bottlenecks and confusion.
Again, clarity prevents that mental fragmentation that leads to task switching, and attaching Dropbox files directly keeps everything together. Less searching, more doing. Helps that control phase of SRL.
Definitely. Lastly, streamline communication and workflow with tools like Slack and Dropbox Sign.
Cutting through the noise.
Slack is huge for team communication. Channels for projects, voice video calls, screen sharing, file sharing. Reduces endless email chains, especially for remote teams or external partners. Organized channels help control information flow.
Contextual communication.
And Dropbox Sign for e-signatures, a lifesaver. No more print, sign, scan, email.
Oh, that whole dance?
Gone. Digitally signed 17 file types, NDAs, contracts legally binding, encrypted, send mass requests, use templates, manage teams, and the beauty. Signed docs save automatically back to your Dropbox. Seamless, paperless, organized.
Supports environmental structuring and control perfectly. All these tools, especially linked with something central like Dropbox, really streamline things, boost visibility, save mental energy.
Turning tech into a focus tool.
Okay, host, those tools are fantastic for the long game for setting up systems. But what about right now? You're feeling scattered, overwhelmed, need to focus immediately.
Yeah, the quick reset button.
Exactly. For those moments, there's a simple, incredibly powerful technique. Box breathing.
Box breathing. Okay, tell me more.
It's a structured breathing technique that directly calms your nervous system and boosts cognitive function fast.
How does it work?
By consciously controlling your breath in 4 equal parts, you engage your vagus nerve. This shifts you from that fight or flight stress response to the calmer rest and digest state.
So it's physiological.
Absolutely. It clears mental fog, regulates heart rate, pulls your attention back to the present, primes you for focus.
Okay, walk me through it. How do you do the box?
Super simple. Think of a square. Each side is 4 seconds.
Inhale gently through your nose, counting slowly to 4. Feel your lungs fill.
Hold your breath gently for a count of 4. Stillness.
Exhale slowly through your mouth, counting to 4. Release fully.
Hold the breath out for a count of 4. Pause again.
Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Like drawing a box with your breath.
Precisely. Repeat that cycle for just a few minutes. Even 5 or 10 rounds makes a difference. It calms your nerves, cuts stress, and brings your focus right back. A quick, powerful tool you can use anywhere, anytime you need to recenter.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Simple, actionable, immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a journey this deep dive has been. We started with the harsh reality of digital distraction, that invisible drain.
And its links to anxiety, procrastination.
Then we explored the opposite, the power of that flow state, that zone of energized focus.
And how to cultivate it.
And crucially, we got the blueprint. Self-regulated learning broken down into those practical phases. Forethought, monitoring, control, reflection.
Giving you the how.
Yeah. And now you, listening, have this amazing toolkit. Designing your environment, auditory control, movement.
Crafting that powerful morning routine.
Leveraging tech smartly with tools like Zapier, Trello, Asana, Slack, Dropbox Sign.
Turning tech into an ally.
And that immediate reset button, box breathing, grounded in real physiology.
So maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on.
Yeah.
If flow happens in that sweet spot between challenge and skill and requires deliberately cutting distractions, think about one challenging task you've been avoiding, something that feels overwhelming right now.
We all have one of those.
Right. How could you apply just one strategy we talked about today? Maybe structuring your environment differently, maybe using a time block, maybe just starting with box breathing to intentionally create a flow moment around that task this week. And taking it further, what new skills might you need to develop to really meet that challenge head on, to push yourself into that optimal zone instead of just hoping it happens?
That's a great challenge. Don't just wait for flow. Actively create the conditions for it.
Exactly.
Take what you've learned today, folks. Experiment. Build these habits. We're genuinely excited for you to feel that transformative power of deep focus, to reclaim your attention.
It's worth the effort.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep diving deep into what truly matters.